All right, in this video, we're gonna talk about 11 things that you should stop paying money for. Nope, 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 nope. And those are just a few of them. Now, if you add up all the savings that the average viewer would save by not spending money on these 11 things, what you'll find is that it would be a savings of probably many thousands of dollars a year. And to be honest, with the last tip we shared, number 11, because we have to save the best for last, my wife and I have actually saved over $10,000 in the last 5 years just by doing this one thing alone. So if you wanna see how much money you could be saving, stay tuned, we're just about to start. All right, hey, if you're new here, my name is Bob Loddick. Welcome to our channel. So glad you are here. And what we do on this channel is we give you practical money saving strategies, ways to put more money in your pocket. And then we also talk about some of the timeless biblical principles and how to manage our money wisely, because after all, what is the point of having it if we're not going to manage it wisely? So if that resonates with you, definitely hit that subscribe button so you can hear from us as we create new content. Now, as we go through these 11 different items, I'm going to put links down in the description. So if you want to find out any more information, or if you actually need the URL of any of the things that we mentioned, it will be down in the description. All those links will be there for you so you can check those out. All right, also down in the comments section, if you wouldn't mind letting me know which of these 11 items you are spending the most money on now, that'd be super helpful. It'd be good information, I think, for all of us to see. So you can just leave a comment just with the number of the item. That's completely fine. And I would just love to hear that from you. All right, with that out of the way, let's get to these 11 things you should stop spending money on. And I will say, you probably know a couple of these because you're a financially savvy person. If you're watching this, like, you care about your finances. So you might know a few of them, but focus on the ones that you do not know. And just remember, just one idea that you implement could save you a whole lot of money and really improve your financial life. So just one idea that you run with and execute and take action on can make a big difference. So first on the list is credit card interest. If you are paying credit card interest, if you are carrying a balance on your credit card, you are paying for something that you really should not be. Now, I understand if you're in a situation where you can't immediately pay it off because you don't have the cash available to pay off your credit card balance, but even if you are carrying a balance on your credit card, try to get a lower rate. And in many cases, you can actually get 0%. I have another video where I talk about how I got 0% on all of my credit cards, and I kind of walk through that strategy of how I did that. But this is definitely something that could save you a whole lot of money, and really none of us should be spending any money on. All right, number 2 is food. And your first thought is, well, I got to spend money on food. We all need to spend money on food. And that's true, but there's a lot of food that you don't need to spend money on. You can go to the store and pay $4 or $5 for this thing, or you can grow a blackberry bush, like I did. And so this might sound crazy, whatever, but I planted a few blackberry bushes in my backyard. And so I get a whole bunch of these things for free every single summer, and they come back every single year. And all I need to do is just give them a little water and trim them up once in a while. So it's pretty simple, and it's free food. And so I know you might not be a gardener, and that's completely fine, but let me just walk you through just the simplicity of this, just so you can understand and consider this idea. So let's suppose that you planted a tomato plant in your backyard, and it grew, I don't know, maybe 10, 20 tomatoes over the course of the summer. So you don't have to buy any of those tomatoes. So essentially you could start with one tomato and then save those seeds, plant them next year, save the seeds, and just do this over and over again and never have to buy tomatoes again. So I know what you're thinking, that's too much work. I don't want to do that. I'd rather just go to the grocery store and buy my tomatoes when I want them. And that's completely fine. I don't have a problem with that, but I just want you to know how simple this actually can be. So I don't like doing a lot of work in the garden. I'd like my garden to be as simple and easy as possible. And so what I did is I bought this little timer for my hose. And so my sprinkler goes off once a day and just waters those plants. So I don't have to go out and water my tomato plants. It just waters them automatically. And I go out and pick tomatoes and eat them. Other than a couple times of year where maybe I need to dig up the tomato plants or plant them at the beginning of the year, I don't have to do a whole lot of work in the garden. You know, and what I like even more than tomatoes are perennials. So kale sometimes will make it through the winter, and I can have kale all year long, and it'll just sit there, grow and grow and grow, and I can eat it, and I can make salads, I can cook it, you know, or certain herbs, like I like to cook with thyme, and it'll just stay in the ground and it'll just grow, and it's always there, and I can just go pick it, and I don't need to go buy spices from the grocery store. So anyway, I think you get the point. I am done trying to convince you to become a backyard farmer like I am. But the bottom line is that we can save a lot of money on our food just by growing some of it. All right, so number 3 is personal finance software. So I'm a financial guy. That's what we do on this channel. On my website, we help people with their money. And so this is my world. But anyway, there's a lot of personal finance software out there where you can spend money. You can spend a lot of money on it. And there's actually a tool that's better than all of them, in my opinion, and it's completely free. So I did another video about this, so you can check out if you want to find out more about it. But it's called Personal Capital, and they just have an amazing suite of financial tools that are all in there for free. So that's one of those things that we really shouldn't be paying for because it's just so good. All right, number 4 is your car. So I know. I still have a car. I'm honestly not planning on getting rid of it right now, but I have thought about it. You know, with Lyft and Uber being available, and then now these little scooters, the Bird and the Lime scooter, and then good old public transportation. There's just a lot of options and a lot of ways to get places, you know, and even if you're not in the city, I mean, Lyft and Uber are going pretty far out, and so they're becoming pretty viable options to get where you need to go. I had lunch with a friend just a couple weeks ago, and he told me that he had gotten rid of his car and just completely eliminated it, and he only takes Lyft and Uber everywhere now. And it just got my brain thinking a little bit, like, wow, this is becoming doable. Like, I could maybe do this. I'm not there yet, but I'm on my way. And the enticing thing about it is that owning a car is really expensive. You know, for most of us, it's probably our second biggest expense next to rent or home ownership expenses. So if that's something that we could eliminate, that's a whole lot of money that we could save. All right, number 5 is books. And some of you may remember this old place called the library. And the library actually has free books there, and you can actually get ebooks there for free. You can get audiobooks in a lot of cases for free. You can even get good old paper books for free. And there's this really cool Google Chrome extension that when it's running and you're on Amazon's website, it will search your local library database to see if a book is available. All right, number 6 is tax preparation. And every year we have to file taxes, and none of us like doing it, but it's part of what we need to do. But for the last few years, I've noticed that TurboTax has this cool program where they will file your taxes for free. Federal and state, completely for free. Now, there are restrictions. You have to have income qualifications, and you got to be filing a simple return, blah, 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 blah. But the point is that a lot of people can actually do this for free without having to pay. So when tax time rolls around, be sure to check that out. All right, number 7 is pets. And I have grown up with pets. I've had pets my entire life, other than the last couple of years, because I have replaced them with kids now. But if I know anything about pets, it's that pets are expensive, even if you have small pets. Now, I'm not trying to convince you to get rid of your pet. I don't necessarily think that's a good idea. But if you are on the fence about buying a pet, you're considering getting a pet, then this is something you should think about. There are a handful of websites you could go to where you could become a pet sitter, and you could maybe pet sit for a weekend or a whole week. This might be the fix that you need if you're feeling like you want a pet, or it might convince you that you absolutely do not want a pet. But either way, what's great about this is that you actually make money in the process, so you don't have to pay money, but you make money, and you might be able to satisfy that craving that you're looking for with one of these little animals. All right, so I forgot number 8 when I was recording this, so let's go ahead and dive into number 8. And number 8 is your credit report. There are a lot of places that you can get this that charge you for it, but there are some free places, and I'm going to point you right to them. So one of them is Credit Karma. You can go there and get your credit reports for free. And you can also go to annualcreditreport.com. I'll have all these links down below. Credit Karma is really cool because they actually do credit monitoring as well. So you don't have to check this on a regular basis. They will do it for you. So that's definitely something that we shouldn't be paying money for either. All right, number 9 is cable. Are you still using cable? Please tell me you're not using cable. Come on, what year is it? Okay, maybe you just didn't know, but let me enlighten you. You could save a whole lot of money by getting rid of cable and switching to a service like Sling or like Hulu, and you should be able to watch most of the shows you're trying to watch, if not all of them. Should be able to get a good amount of your sports, and there's just ways to kind of work around the cable thing and save a lot of money. And that kind of leads me to point number 10, which is not paying for subscriptions that you aren't going to use. Now, in my case, I've been using the cable alternatives for a long time. We're probably going on close to a decade now, and as a result, I had a handful of these different subscriptions. So we did have Sling, we had Hulu, we had Netflix, Amazon Prime, I think we've had HBO a little bit, and some of these subscriptions I noticed, well, we're not really watching any shows on there, and we just had too many, and we're wasting money on some of them. So we went through and just cut out all the ones that we weren't using very much and saved ourselves like $50 a month. Really, really simple. And this might not necessarily be TV stuff, but like Amazon Prime obviously does tons of stuff, but if you're not getting your money's worth out of it, then cancel it. Save yourself the money. All right, so now we are on to tip number 11, which is going to require a little bit of an open mind, but I know that you are that type of person, so bear with me. But over the last 5 years, my wife and I have gotten 161 free flights and 97 hotel nights for free. The way we've done this is through credit card rewards and credit card points. And so I wrote a blog post about it that you can check out where we go into detail of how we did it. It actually wasn't that difficult at all, but the key is knowing which credit cards you need to get, because it makes a huge difference. So if you just have, your bank's credit card and they give you some rewards, most likely it's not very good. And so you need to get the right cards and you need to use the points the right way. And if you do that, you can get tons and tons of travel for free. And that's what we've done. So definitely check out that blog post for more information. And that one has been such a big one for us. So definitely consider that if travel is something you're interested in. Now, like I said before, links to everything we mentioned are down in the description below. So definitely check those out if you need more information about anything or if you need the actual URLs or any of that. All right. And also, like I said before, let me know down in the comments which of these 11 you are spending the most money on and what you're looking to change. You can just leave the number down there. And if you got any new ideas from this video, or if you found it to be helpful, I would love it if you could leave us a thumbs up down below. That'd be amazing. And if you're looking for more unique ways to kind of save some money, I compiled 5 of my favorite ones in a video that you can check out. And if you do all 5 of these, you should be able to easily save $400 a month. So definitely check out that video if you're interested in hearing more about that. But that's all for today. So have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video.